you had your coffee fix.
Hey, I'm going to sleep tonight. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
I learned my lesson the last time.
You know what? I think last time you probably
I
had
don't have
two
a Pop
drinks.
Tart. No, I had a Frappuccino and a Pop Tart. Can't do
Oh,
that again.
okay. I got you.
Yeah.
So at that time frame, you was
All
on a
right, so
straight
we got.
sugar rush.
Yeah. So we have a message, and then we'll come back in with what we're going to actually talk about. I'm gonna press play.
Hey guys, just want to say happy Friday. I'm glad we all made it through another work week, and I'm drinking some rum and coke, and I'm enjoying myself. How about you guys?
Rum and Coke. Ooh, that's a stomach ache for me. I'm
Listen,
good though. Happy Friday.
hey, listen. When you made it through the week, and it's Friday evening, and you're off the clock, it's whatever in your cup. I'm with you. Now I ain't get a chance yet, but if I do pull something up, it's gonna be this rum cream I have sitting right behind me. But right now, I got some water right now as we get started for the show this evening. So welcome to the show. This is the real deal versus how you feel, and I'm
Yep,
Twinsinc,
your girl
and
Miss I Speak Life.
there we go.
Go ahead, just lay it on me. Whatever you say is what we're gonna talk about.
Oh man. Well, let's see. Earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, the first topic that we discussed at 3 p.m. because our show is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. But the first topic we had earlier was called "What is cheating and when is okay to leave?" Right. So we went through a whole spill on that, and if you check the episode we had before this one, you'll see it there. So I think what we could talk about today, as far as the follow-up part, is and this is all from the fly too, people. There's nothing written out, nothing planned, so forgive me. Um, okay, here we go. So, what we said last time is when it's okay to leave, right? Boom. Now, the question is now, what do you do in a situation when someone has cheated on you, but now you have not just you, but kids involved? How is that transition going to play out? So what is the transition part if you decide to leave, if your significant other cheats on you, if you have kids? What does that look like? What do you think, Miss I Speak Life?
Pain, agony, headache. Like, no, I don't know. I don't know if I'm the one to ask because Miss I Speak Life. I've been in long-term relationships. We're talking 7+ years with the person. We, lived basically a marriage life with the exception that I didn't believe in marriage until 2019, November 2019. So, when I left the relationship, the main thing for me, when I left my kid's father, the main thing for me was that, I didn't speak negatively about their dad, right? So, although he created lots of tough situations, my goal was that, I do not leave a negative imprint in my children for the person that I chose to procreate with, right? Because that doesn't even make sense. But not only that, but this is somebody that I know they love unconditionally. So I didn't want to mess them up with understanding love that early. So you're free to love this person unconditionally, regardless of their missteps. The fact that they're making these grand decisions and they are terrible, in my perspective, I just didn't share in that way. So I lied to my kids for maybe my daughter was 8 when I decided to go ahead and date. So yeah, for about 7-8 years, I lied to my daughter and my son. And I told them, when it came, I moved for work purposes and because I moved from one county to the next county. So I landed the job out in Essex County. So I moved from Burlington to Essex. And I told, because mommy landed the job, daddy still has a job here in this county. He can't travel. So you're only going to be able to see him periodically. You can talk to him, as much as you like. Because at that time, he was a little bit, still active in terms of using the phone. I even got a phone that I gave him. I was paying the phone bill so that he could communicate with the children. It depends on how you feel about the situation. Me personally, I felt like the kids were the most important, as long as I didn't make myself stay in a situation I was going to be unhappy in, I had moved on because of, ministry purposes, elevation, and my walk, So once I got to that part, it was like, okay. And then irresponsibility, all of the things just made sense. So, I lied. I told him lies, unfortunately. Eventually, I told him the truth that I was lying.
So
I just was trying to protect his feelings.
okay, I understand. So when you say you lied, what did you lie about?
More so about the fact that he wasn't there. He didn't move with us.
Okay, I'm with you
He
now.
wasn't around. So it was like, well, where's that? Like we're having dinner because we did. We would have family day and dinner at the table at least, 4 times out of the week. We were family, so
Right.
it was weird, but I wasn't. I don't know. I just felt like that was the best decision. That was the best choice, and it was the easiest thing, honestly, to say because I had moved because I had landed a position, and I was in school. So, to their understanding, that made sense, you know. And because, like I said, in the earlier stages, the first, I'll say maybe the first 2 years, he was still somewhat, you know, around. He would answer the phone. Like I said, I purchased the phone and paid the phone bill so he could still talk to them and everything like that. He would have them come over, over to his house and everything like that. Like, okay, well, now Daddy has to live here because he's working out here, and you guys can come here and visit him. And we both kind of went along with that. We both felt like we didn't want to hurt them, so we agreed to do that. To the extent, like if he came to my county
Mm-hmm.
to spend time with the kids, I'd leave my apartment and he could stay with them. And, spend time. So it didn't seem like every time he came, he had to like try to take them out somewhere because situations happen. So initially, I'm like, well, maybe he can't afford, because now he's living on his own. So maybe he can't afford to take them out and travel, up here to see them. So I would leave. I'd be like, okay, here y'all go. Y'all can have time. Mommy will be right back. I got to go do X, Y, Z. And I would leave them right in my apartment with some kids.
Okay.
Sure enough, would.
Okay, that makes sense. I understand. Now, me personally,
Like,
what'd you say?
I was like, bye.
You said bye. Oh, you talking about when he come by to spend time with
When
the
he
kids?
would come, I would be out. Look, twins. You remember how we said
Pew!
how fast we'd be out the last one?
Okay, I got you now. I got you now. So as you pull up, it's like exchange. High five out the door. Have fun. I
Out
got
the
you.
door.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I understand. And I mean, at least see that part. Yeah, I'll say this. Y'all both had I guess a good conversation, good understanding how you're gonna move forward after it. Of course, at the time, I understand. There was feelings hurt, right? You was upset. He was upset. Whatever the case may be, that transpired. I'm not trying to reopen the old wounds, but y'all had the conversation. This was the plan, and this is what we're gonna do, and that was it, right? So, like you said, you walk in, he leaves, vice versa, whatever. Okay, I get that part. No problem there. And I think that's one mature way to handle it, right? I think you did pretty good, right? From the outside looking in. Now I don't know all the details, but I'm just saying that seems like a very mature thing that y'all
Yeah,
was
that's all
able
the
to do.
details. Ain't much more than that.
Huh?
We didn't speak. We still don't really speak. That's all the details. We don't speak. We don't really speak at all because it gets ugly. Because
No,
people still be in their bag, and I'm like, I can't deal with the bag. But
Right.
we can go ahead. We can pause right here because we got a message,
okay.
and I know we still got to listen. So I'm gonna press play.
I don't think you should ever have to stay with someone if you're not happy, and I think it is sad how it definitely impacts the child growing up if the parents aren't together. But at the same time, if you're not happy and you're always fighting the time, that would probably happen in front of the kids anyway, and they'd probably grow up, seeing that kind of stuff and just lead to them not having a good view on relationships. And so I think if you're unhappy, you should leave, definitely, but they're still your kids, even if you're with someone else. So you still got to be there for them, but you don't have to stay with them.
Agreed.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Twin?
I agree as well. I don't have no disagreement with that. Um, and also as a disclaimer as well, like we said earlier today, there the conversation we're having today. We're not saying in any type of way or form that cheating is right and anyone should stay into a abusive relationship, or whatever cheating relationship. But what we're talking about is the after effect. Once you decide to separate, how is the more mature way how to handle it? Because some people don't know how to handle it. Some people may never experience this, but sometimes if not saying you should all be mentally prepared for it, but some people are not. So when it happens, it goes from 0 to 100 real quick. So we're just trying to get our dialogue. So
Mm-hmm.
if it does happen, here's how you should. You know what I'm saying? This kind of a small guideline of how you can handle it.
Here's the solution.
Right.
Right.
We like I said, but this is not an end all be all. We don't know because, like me personally, I'm married, but I haven't been in a situation where I have to, because I cheated or the wife cheated, that we had to just completely leave each other in X, Y, Z. Right. So we're just talking through this process here to see how it works. And I know, like I said, in your situation, y'all still not talking, but you still could be cordial enough to handle the kids as far as however that goes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So like I said, not trying to open up any old wounds, none of those things. I'm just trying
Ain't no wrong.
just decide to just moving
No, it's
forward.
not because it's no one for me. Again, I can't speak for anyone else. I know that most cases people go through a lot of different things, and I'm not saying that I haven't gone through things with him, but there's no ill will there. There's no malice. I just feel like he was hurt. He's still hurt, and although I've apologized several times, not that I cheated on him or done anything like that, he was actually the one to take that step, to entertain someone like we talked about before. To me, that's cheating. I don't know what else to call it. Like, okay, you sitting here kikiing with a girl, and I'm sitting here trying to get us in a better situation. I'm not about that life. You sitting here talking to her about, washing clothes, and it's my lunch, it's my washer and dryer. What are you saying right now? So, yeah, it's nothing negative to say. Even to this day, I still don't say anything negative about him. I just feel like he never took the time to do the work to get past the hurt because he didn't believe that I was going to leave.
Oh, so
So
he was real comfortable and confident.
yeah, he was too comfortable because I didn't believe in marriage. I had, my thoughts were always like, we're in this for the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, I don't cheat. I'm not going anywhere else. If I'm comfortable with you, I'm cool. We cordial. He was a best friend of mine from high school, so we were cool. And again, when we ended, and it was just like he didn't think it was going to end. Like we had ended, and he was still there living in the house. He had moved from the bedroom and was staying downstairs on the couch, and I'm saying to him, like, okay, when you going to leave? When you going to leave? For a long time, he wouldn't leave. And actually, what ended up getting him to leave the house was me saying that I liked somebody else. I said, I think I'm starting to catch feelings for this guy that, I had talked to. And I think that's what did it.
Yeah, that makes sense because as a man, you don't want to hear that your lady or your ex lady, whatever, somebody you was dealing with, is now possibly talking to somebody else. You're not trying to hear those conversations. You ain't trying to see them like pop up. Like, you know what? Let me go remove myself from this equation here and give her space because at this point she's done. Like that might have been the part that he knew that you were done with him at that part, where you were able to talk in front of him
Right.
or even say to him that, yeah, I'm feeling another guy. You got any tips? You're like, oh, shoot. Damn, I messed up. Number one. Dang. Two, she really that confident that she going to talk about another dude in front of me? Okay, it's time for me to pack my bags and call Tyrone. Sorry, that just came out real naturally. But I understand, though. I understand that part. So, your kids were 8 years old, what you said, right?
Wait, say that again, twin.
You said your child was 8?
That last part. My child was 8 when I started dating.
No. When y'all split up, how old were the kids?
Oh, how old were they? So My daughter was about 1, and my son was probably around 7. No, my son was about 6. He's 5 years older. Yeah, so 6 and 1.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
All right, and then
yeah,
and it
six
just
and one.
okay, and as you stated, saying they didn't really know. I understand at that point that y'all were split up. It's just like mom got a new job, mom's going over here, X, Y, Z, whatever, whatever. So, at what age did they really? Did you have a sit down conversation with them that hey, me and your dad are not together, but X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z, or or did that conversation ever happen? It just kept going with the flow.
I didn't tell them until my daughter was 8.
Eight.
My daughter was, yep, 8 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, so around 6 years old, something happened. When around her 6th birthday, something happened, and it was kind of like, oh, this is going on because, like I said, the entire time, those first couple years, I was still in South Jersey, even though at that point he had finally moved out. So it was like, oh, he moved out, and then I moved from the area. Period. So this all took place within that first year of my daughter being born. So, or the second year when she was 2. So she was already born. I was in place, but that second year, I was moving from that area back out to Essex. So after we did that for a minute, that first couple years, um, it was kind of rough. It was just the phone calls. He wasn't really showing up. Like I said, we was in a different county. About the 3rd, 4th year of me being out in that county, he would try to come by. And at that point, they pretty much knew. I told them because now I decided that I'm going to date. So once I decided that I was, ready to date, the kids were old enough, for me to have a little bit more freedom. They pretty much was on schedule. Bedtimes at 8, 8 o'clock and 11 o'clock at that time. So by 9 o'clock, 9:30, once my daughter was asleep, my son was a little bit of a night owl. He's still a night owl. He was up at 2:30 this morning. So I know that about him. So around 9:30, for the most part, I go hang out, do whatever. I was still able to enjoy myself.
Hmm.
And I started dating at that point, and then I was in a relationship again for 7 years after that. So I was single for about 7 years before getting in another relationship for 7 years.
So 7 years relationship, took a break for 7 years, and then got back into another 7 years. Right? That's all right.
Yeah.
777. That's like
I will not be taking another 7 year break. I can tell you that.
that's not like completion right there. Now I'm not quite sure what the completion
Yeah.
is, but it's completion. 777. Well,
Right.
I mean, I guess at this point now, like
So,
you said, because now that you would like to be married now, so that might be it right there. That might be the part that brought you to. Maybe I
oh
don't know.
yeah, absolutely,
Right.
absolutely. So I mean, the difference is not so much, not just that I want to be married. That's how I can say that I won't be, um, single for 7 years. Now, the first time I chose to remain single is because my children were young. You know what I mean? My daughter was young. I wasn't going to have men around my daughter.
Right.
And unfortunately for me, I had a son first and then I had my daughter. So at that point, I had written it off. I'm like, I'm going to die alone. Like, our buddy TJ said. That was just my thought. Like, okay, this is it for me. It's over. Ain't nothing I could do now. But, that wasn't the case. And as time progressed and the kids got older,